Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And as a following of my review of Spider-Man: Homecoming, at a point, one of the people want to ask me to do after that is review Thor: Ragnarok, which is the third of the Thor film trilogy of the Marvel Universe. And right off the bat, I would say it's the best one. I would say. Then I put the first one, but then of course the second film, The Dark World. No, but I had a lot of fun with Thor Ragnarok. Um, Chris Hemsworth once again, great as Thor. I think he was definitely more badass in this in the previous appearances he's had. It's directed by Takia Waititi. If I mispronounce his name. He directed a film called I think it was called The Wilderness People that starred Sam Neill. But also as an actor, he was also in the Green Lantern film with Ryan Reynolds. He was the friend of Ryan Reynolds. Um, but I haven't seen The Wilderness People, but this film he did a really good job with the film. I have the other films I have not other films I have not quite familiar with, but he did a really good job with this movie. And the cast, I thought for the whole cast, I thought overall was really good. I said Chris Hemsworth comes back as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Idris Elba as Heimdall, the little stuff that Anthony Hopkins comes back as Odin, and then Mark Ruffalo comes back as a Bruce Banner, the Hulk. But yeah, the old and then the other new characters too as well. And the film, once again, huge hit, made over 850 million worldwide. It's the highest of the three Thor films, ninth highest grossing film of 2017. Over 300 million domestically as well. 92% Rotten Tomatoes, like the same rating as Spider-Man: Homecoming, but has a higher rating on IMDb than Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man is like 7.5. This has a 7.9. So I'd say a little more critical, I would say. But there was also some some I guess from people like have say they don't like the film because it was more comedy than actual more action movie. But I do understand that because this year is more. This has much more. Is definitely more comedy in the film, more than Spider-Man: Homecoming or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But this has a lot more humor and comedy, so that's why people quite didn't like it because it was more comedy than action. But I did like a lot of the humor though. Um, but but as for but as the for the premise itself, it's after, like I said, it's after when the last time we saw Thor was in Age of Ultron when he left. So this is where this is 2 years later after Age of Ultron, 2017, and he's in this he's in prison. We see him. He's chained up. He's imprisoned, talking with this fire demon named Surtur, which in the comics is an enemy of Thor. Surtur, the fire demon, and realize that the voice of Surtur is actually voiced by Clancy Brown, who I like as an actor. Clancy Brown, he's been in films as well, but also now he's famously voicing Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. And his voice is easily identifiable because when I think with hearing his voice as Surtur, it's easily Mr. Krabs. It's like, it's a crown or whatever he says. It's just he's Mr. Krabs. So yeah, but it was cool that Clancy Brown has a voice role in this as Surtur, and he wants to destroy Asgard. The story Ragnarok. So, but he needs the power of the eternal flame in order to destroy Asgard and fulfill his destiny. But and you get the first good fight of the film where he's calling on his calls his hammer, fights these fire demons, and fighting Surtur. And you get the song by Led Zeppelin, the Immigrant Song. I come from the land of the ice and snow. And I like the song by Led Zeppelin. And as you hear this at the beginning of the film, you also hear it towards the end, which was also in the trailer as well. So I was glad they put that in the movie twice. And while he's fighting, you get back on Asgard, where, the Bifrost Gate. Karl Urban, who I really enjoy as an actor, especially when he played Dredd. He's Scourge, the Executioner. In the comics, he's like with Enchantress, who in the comics also is like in love with Thor, though. But in this, though, Enchantress is not in this. So, but Scourge, the Executioner, played by Karl Urban, he was. First, it was nice seeing him in the Marvel, another good addition to the Marvel universe. He was fun to see as Scourge. He's talking to these two ladies, and say like all the stuff that he used to use a Bifrost Gate to get all this stuff from different places, but a couple things from Earth as well. You see like a moped, and then and when he says these two things I'm particularly fond of. And they're two M16 rifles. I picked these in a place on Midgard, a place called Texas. I call them Des and Troy. Why? Put them together, they destroy. Yeah, so Karl, but he was funny in this, and it was. And there's also another quick one. He's using a shake weighty as well. One of those little shake weights, they use the ways and. So it's funny using that as well. And so he opens the Bifrost. When he comes back, like the head of this fire dragon demon, like guts get splurted all over him and the two girls. And then Thor gets back to Asgard, he sees that there's a statue of Loki there, and there's a play going on, like creating his Loki's death in Thor: The Dark World. And he there's actors playing the characters, like the person who's playing Thor in the play, playing Thor, is actually, I think, is played by Chris Hemsworth's other brother, not Liam Hemsworth, but Luke Hemsworth. He plays Thor in the play, which I don't think he hasn't done much. But I know of Liam Hemsworth. I'm not too fond of him as well. Chris Hemsworth is easily the best of the bunch. I'm not a fan of Liam Hemsworth when he was in Expendables 2 and then the Hunger Game movies. So I'm not particularly fond of Liam Hemsworth. Oh, of course, essentially he sucked in Independence Day Resurgence, where he's distracting the aliens and he's pissing on the floor as to distract the aliens, the other ones, to get away. Yeah. That piece of crap. I hate Independence Day Resurgence, and he sucked in that movie. So yeah, Chris Hemsworth is easily the best, though. But here, his other brother Luke is playing Thor in this play, and the other one in the play who's playing Loki, doing the death scene in Thor: The Dark World, is actually played by Matt Damon. I was like, is that Matt Damon? I was like, yeah, that's Matt Damon in a Marvel movie. I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, but and also then you got the actor playing Odin. It's actually played by Sam Neill. Probably because the director you put him in a little appearance because he used him in his previous film before this, The Wilderness People. So probably made him have a cameo appearance in this. Hey, it's Sam Neill, cool. He looks like he can play Odin. He looks like it because they had in the play they make him look like Odin. But yeah, it was cool to see Sam Neill. So you got two people from Jurassic Park in this. Samuel has a cameo appearance, and you got Jeff Goldblum in this as well. So that was cool. It was cool to see Sam Neill, and he's talked with Odin, but it's not Odin, it's Loki as Odin. And I liked Loki as Odin. His first reaction when he sees Thor, he's like, oh shit. Is it the little reaction? He's like, oh shit. So he brings Thor brings Surtur's skull, put in the vault. But then he knows knows that because while all this Thor has been doing, Odin's been sitting here watching plays and all that stuff, and he throws his hammer, gets behind him, and the thing's coming my way. It's gonna hit you, not me. So he forces Loki out of his disguise, makes him tell where he put his father, and he's back on Earth. And another funny moment where a couple of fans to get a picture with Thor and Loki's getting like, and then all of a sudden he's Loki falls in this hole, and there's a card with an address, and it's Doctor Strange's place. It's the sanctuary. So Thor meets with Doctor Strange, once again played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Cool to see him in a little cameo appearance as well. And I also like the funny things where Doctor Strange is like he manipulates where Thor's in one place, and he's like quick change, he's in another place, or another part where he's all of a sudden falling down the stairs. He tells him where his father is, creates a gateway or again, I would say gateway to where his father is, and asks for his brother back. and then Loki, he's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. And then who's going to attack Doctor Strange? And Doctor Strange's like, okay, bye bye. It was also kind of funny that there was for that one scene before they leave, Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch, they were together in Steven Spielberg's War Horse. So I was like, yeah, that's right. They were both in War Horse together. So it was kind of cool to see for that one scene, them together, Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch, because they were both in Steven Spielberg's War Horse, which I want to review that further later on because I like War Horse. So, but it was cool to see that one little scene together from War Horse. So they find out where his father is, and then Odin explains that he's near the end. So once his life ends, Hela will be free from her imprisonment. And so now, of course, another change from characters. In the comics, Hela is the daughter of Loki, who's in hell. But in this case here, she was really the firstborn of Odin, and she was more evil, and that's why he imprisoned her. So yeah, that's another change from the comics. So from being the daughter of Loki, here being the daughter to Odin. Yeah, he tells her that he loves his sons, and he says, "Look at that, the scenery," and then he just fades away. And then Hela is released, and Hela, played by Cate Blanchett, I think she also did a good job as a villain. James Spader, Mads Mikkelsen, I like still. And I forgot to mention my previous review, other villains from the Marvel films I liked. I forgot to mention Kurt Russell from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I loved Kurt Russell in that film. As Ego, the Living Planet. Yeah, it's another villain for me I like. Because I love Kurt Russell, so. Yeah, it's like, so everything is me. But Cate Blanchett, she did a good job as Hela as well. And proving that she's not kidding around. Like, when Thor throws his hammer, she breaks it. And when they try to get back in the Bifrost teleportation, knocks Loki out, and then knocks Thor out. And she gets back to Asgard. Okay, now here gets to another nitpick. Now, there's a couple things I will say, like I did with Spider-Man Homecoming. A couple of nitpicks here. The death of the Warriors 3, of Volstagg, what was once again Volstagg, played by Ray Stevenson. What was it? Fenrir. Fenrir. Once again played by Zachary Levi, who was gonna be Shazam, but here Fenrir, and Tada Adabu, also never mispronounce his name, as Hogun. They all get killed off. Well, first with Ray Stevenson and Zachary Levi, they get killed just like that in a split second. So I'm thinking that's when it's a nitpick, because like especially the Warriors 3, they build it from the first two Thor films, how they're all together with Thor after all this time together, and then also they just kill us straight off, and then they never brought up to Thor. He never know he doesn't know if they're dead or not. So that's an issue I have. Yeah, those characters build up from the previous two Thor films. Bonded with friends with Thor all the time. And all of a sudden they get killed off and they're never mentioned. Even Thor never mentions what happened to them and all that. So yeah, that's a nitpick that I have. And also think about what happened with Lady Sif. What was it? I forget the actress's name who played Lady Sif. I forget her name. She's not there though, and we don't know what happened with her. She was never there when Asgard was destroyed. She must be off someplace else. So that's one issue I have. But then Scourge, he gets down on his knees. He's like, I'm just the janitor. So he's doing it basically to save his own life, by joining with her. Yeah, but he's basically doing that just to save his own ass, because. But I think Cate Blanchett did a good job still. But that was the one issue that I have, was them within a blink of an eye they're dead. So then with Thor, he's on Sakaar. He gets to some people there talking, but Valkyrie comes in, shoots him up, and takes Thor. Him to take to see the Grandmaster. It was like strapped in the chair, and they have the Willy Wonka "Your Imagination" song playing. Da, 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 na, 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 na. And then Jeff Goldblum's right there as the Grandmaster. Of course, if Grandmaster, he's one of the in the comics, he's one of the elders of the universe, and he's the brother of Taneleer Tavan, the Collector, played by Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I would like to see, because there was one point they were wanting to get these two brothers together in a film, which I would like to see, two of the elders of the universe together. But still, and this is like the Jeff Goldblum. He's just being himself, being Jeff Goldblum. Still, he was still fun to see. It was nice, another addition to the Marvel universe as well. Jeff Goldblum was fun as a Grandmaster, and pays Tessa Thompson, with units like in Guardians of the Galaxy. How we got paid? Units. And then where there's this guy, and like the melting stick, and melts this guy, and Thor's like, "Oh my god!" And Jeff Goldblum's like, "I'm stepping in it." Then the Loki's there, and he's like, with persuaded to be at the Grandmaster's side, and then Thor is put in prison. He gets talking with this rock creature named Cord, which is actually played by the director, which he did a good job as well, because it made the character likable. There's a big rock creature who now has a deep voice, and he has kind of like a small, soft voice. "Hey, how you doing? I'm Cord. This is my friend Meek. This is his insect partner." Talks like that. So he's like, okay. Makes the character likable, and the director did a good job playing him. And then with back on Asgard, it was a good scene where Hela just takes out all the Asgardian warriors, as well as the last of the Warriors 3, Hogun. And then she goes to the throne, look on the ceiling where all the stuff that Odin has done, but it was all lies. So she rips apart the ceiling, see the true what Asgard was built on with her and him, making Asgard as what it was. And then she resurrects uses the Eternal Flame to resurrect the dead soldiers that was underneath, including Fenris Wolf. And it's another thing in the comics. He's also the child of Loki, but on this case. Then back with Thor, she talks with Tessa Thompson. No, she's a Valkyrie, but who swore with to protect like Asgard and all that stuff. But of course, she does this drink, and then Thor gets his hair cut by Stan Lee, and then he gets put into the ring, and where the Grandmaster's champion is the Hulk. He's been there in Hulk form for 2 years, ever since Age of Ultron. And then Thor's like in the first trailer, and it's like, yes! And then Loki gets like, because he's afraid of Hulk because what he got because he got his ass handed to him in the first Avengers film. Puny god. Hey Loki, look who it is. He's a friend from work. And he tries talking to Hulk, but doesn't do it good though. But the whole fight scene is fun to see. Like he attempts to calm him down like what Natasha did though, but it doesn't work. So they both beat each other. Now, it's one thing I would have to say. Another issue is that there's a referencing of the planet Hulk though, but it isn't. I would say it was a waste of that storyline of the planet Hulk storyline. You know, it's just I don't know how I can say it. I know because whether they mentioned they were before the film came out, they were using like the planet Hulk as with the Hulk gearing up in the gladiator stuff and all that. And after there wasn't like not much, and Hulk didn't. He was not in it that much. Well, like because then after that, he is in it too. Like he's talking with Thor afterwards after the fight and all that. Until one thing he sees the images of Natasha calming him down, and turns back into Bruce Banner. And then until he comes back into LA to the fight on Asgard. But all that, I think all that was like wasted on a good storyline like the Planet Hulk story. So that's another disappointing thing with it is they wasted that storyline. Of course, and it could have been saved for his own solo film for a Hulk though, which okay, if we go looking back at the previous Hulk films, I know Ang Lee's Hulk is not great. I know that. I know it's not great. But then the one in the start of the Marvel universe, after Iron Man, that didn't do that well worldwide either compared to what Iron Man made the first one made in the first place. Probably because of the reception of what the first Hulk did from 2003. Maybe that's why. But I'm sure now how much money these Marvel Cinematic Universe films are making, he should be, make his own movie, then add the Planet Hulk storyline, like where time has been ever since between Age of Ultron and Thor Ragnarok. But it's too late for that anyway now. So, but to me, I think they wasted the Planet Hulk story. So, but regardless, I still like the whole fight of him in the ring though, and when Thor channels his inner, thunder, but of course Grandmaster cheats and to stun him so that Hulk can win. And then he's talking with Thor, how he got here, use that, but he wants to talk with Tessa Thompson about, explain about Odin is dead and Hela is invaded Asgard, and talks about how Odin sent the Valkyries in to stop her when she escaped once and she killed them all. But then he's gonna Hulk gets to the Queen Jet, and another funny moment where he used the handprint identification. Thor, nope. Strongest Avenger, nope. Breakpoint, accepted. Because I think it was in the first Avengers film when they're on the Hellcarrier and Tony's like, okay, Point Break, yeah, need swing. I think that's what that's referred to from Point Break when Tony called him that in the first Avengers film. So, but Hulk turns back into Bruce Banner. Tells him that it's been 2 years has passed since Ultron. So he's been the Hulk for 2 years. He doesn't know where he's on. He's on an alien planet. He's like, okay, calm down. And another funny humor was like, oh, are you trying to use me to get to the Hulk? That's just no, I prefer you over the Hulk. You're all the numbers and all that stuff, and all Hulk was smashed and all that stuff. And like, okay, but Hulk can't help in certain aspects. And like, oh yeah, and Bruce was like, how many PhDs does Hulk have? 0. How many PhDs do I have? 7. And where it's like we put on glasses, like I can be Tony Stark. And he's like, oh what? What was it? What was the next thing he said? We are disguised. Why are you acting so weird? I don't know. Well, maybe because the fact that I was trapped inside a Hulk for 2 years made me feel a little weird. So, but then but when Loki was with Valkyrie, little scuffle, and he gets into her mind and shows the images of Hela taking out all the Valkyries. And then when they're all talking together, Loki tied up. Another funny scene where Loki Thor is explaining to them, Bruce and Valkyrie, like, one time we were little, he disguised himself as a snake, and he knows how much I like snakes. So when he came to his other form, he tried to stab me. We were ahead of time. That, I guess I explain it better. Explains better the movie than I could, though. But it's still a funny scene. So Thor and Loki, they team up, take out some people, and then they're out in the elevator. It's like, well, let's get help. Where they, oh, help! And Loki's like, help, help, and then Thor throws Loki at the people. But then he tries to deceive Thor, but he saw right through it. And he's like, we would prove to be different, and you, Loki, you just want to stay the same. It's too predictable and all that stuff. So that's why you'll always be the god of mischief. So they steal one of the Grandmaster ships. They get this decent fight plane or spaceship chase, whatever. And although it's an awkward humor though. Like the ship they steal, it's like one of the Grandmaster's best ships, and it's like uses for his good times, orgies and stuff. And it's like, and Thor's like, don't touch anything. But yeah, and like when Bruce, when he's trying to steer the ship, he's like, "Where are weapons? And it's like, "Hey, it's your birthday," and it unleashes fireworks. And one of I think the woman who was with the Grandmaster, he's like, and then she crashes. So then they enter the big portal to get to Asgard, and with back with Idris Elba trying to hide, from Hela, and. But then while they're all at the Bifrost Bridge, there's Fenris there, and Thor tries to fight with Hela. He has like his father as a staff, his thing on the throne, and she fights him. He loses his right eye, and he's like, "Ugh, now you remind me of Daddy." And then Bruce tries to, tells like, you want to know to Valkyrie, you want to know who I am? You'll see. It's like he's doing his reference from the first Incredible Hulk film with one with Edward Norton, like when he falls to the plane, when he tries to transform when he's falling down. He tries to do the same here, but he just lands wham splat on the bridge like this, and Venom's like. Then he's like, but then he gets his tail pulled back by Hulk, and then he fights it into the water, and then Thor's getting beat by Hela. Then he has the vision in his mind with his father, Anthony Hopkins. Like, even with one eye, you couldn't still see the other half of the picture. And it's saying that Asgard is not a place, never was. It's the people. They unleashes his mighty thunder rage, and Loki's smirking. And then he got the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin playing again. And it was a fun scene where like Thor's like a twizzle swirl whatever with his thunder, and he's fighting, and then Valkyrie comes in. He's taking on some bad guys too. She's taking on bad guys, not he. And with the Scourge, Karl Urban, he doesn't realize what he's done is wrong, but he tries to hide on the ship as well with the one that Loki and Cord and those other prisoners came on as well. He tries to hide up on there, but then Thor tells Loki it's about causing Ragnarok, so he tells Loki to get Surtur's crown to put in the eternal flame, because that's what Hela's power draws from, is from Asgard, so if Asgard is destroyed, she can be destroyed. So he gets the crown, puts in the eternal flame. With this eternal flame, you are reborn. And then Karl Urban, he redeems himself with his badass moment when the rest of the undead warriors are getting on the ship and gets his M16s. Just blast him away for Asgard. Self-sacrifice for, redeems himself by sacrificing his life for Asgard. He's taking more out, but then Hela stabs him. And then Surtur comes out. Like, "Hail before me, Asgard! I am your doom!" Clancy Brown once again. And then Hulk tries to take on Surtur as well, like you saw at the end of the trailer. Surtur's like this way, and then Thor tries to take him up. He's just too puny. It's like, Hulk, for once in your life, no smash, big monster. But they all get on the ship, and then Hela tries to take him out, but it doesn't do any good. So Surtur gets his sword, stabs right into the heart of Asgard, destroying himself as well as Asgard, and Hela too. So they get on the ship, and then now Thor's say he's now king. He's now king now, your throne, whatever. And Loki seems to now be all right with that. Accepts it. And tells them he wants to go to Earth. And during the mid-credits, as Thor and Loki are talking, big ship appears right in front of them, and that's Thanos' ship, which leads to the opening of Infinity War. And then after the credits, which I don't know how, because after the credits, Grandmaster is out there where those other trash people are. I mean, how did he get out there? We never saw him leave his place where he was at. Last time I saw him, he was like announcing, "Don't let them leave this planet, take to the skies," and all that. But now somehow he's in the middle out there with these two other ladies in the ship. He's talking to the space people like, "Oh, hey. Great job on the revelation. We had a pat on the back. It's a tie." Basically tries to save his ass from not being killed by those trash people. But yeah, but somehow he's in the middle out there. I don't know where, how, but still. But Jeff Goldblum still was fun to see. So yeah, Thor Ragnarok. I had fun with the film still. I think I got more fun out of it than Spider-Man: Homecoming. Because like I said, it has more humor in it as well that I thought was funny in it. But still, I like the action scenes were good as well. A lot of the humor was funny to me. The whole cast does a really good job as well. The whole cast and the visuals, I thought the visual effects were really well done. Especially it's more the usage of colors. It's very colorful, like with when I said in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Especially when they're on Ego's planet, the use of color is very colorful, just like here. So yeah, the film was really colorful, like in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And the humor, like I said, a lot of it was good. I did think was funny. A lot of the characters I did like such the likable ones, like that Cord guy that the director plays, and some other people. But Tom Hiddleston he still was good as Loki. He's trying to make it more sympathetic though, like okay, he's obsessed with his brother, okay, and all that stuff, but still. But Chris Hemsworth once again was great as Thor. He was more badass in this than the other previous ones, especially when using his lightning and all that. Idris Elba was good too. Once again, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, and as well as Bruce Banner. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie was good too. Nice to see Anthony Hopkins as Odin. Karl Urban, I do enjoy as an actor. It was really nice to see him in there, and especially his character he redeemed himself. Cate Blanchett was the good villain as well as Hela, the goddess of death. She was good too. And Jeff Goldblum, like I said, it was fun to see him in the film as well. He was funny too. And like the little appearances, like cameo appearances, like Matt Damon and Sam Neill as well. It was kind of funny to see them in there as well. Oh, and Clancy Brown. I can't forget Clancy Brown as Surtur. But yeah, I had fun with Thor Ragnarok. The film was like a little over 2 hours. I think it was well paced. I think it was. I was not bored with the movie. The music, well, I do enjoy the usage of twice they used the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. I do enjoy that song. The rest was scored by Mark Mothers Burr mispronounced the name. Was decent as well. The direction by can't pronounce the guy's name who played Cord as well. He did a good job directing wise. And I understand that people would not like it because it was more it was like probably say like 80% of it the film was comedy more than action. I understand that. But I thought with mostly humor I thought was funny. Like the issues I had was like they wasted the Planet Hulk storyline and killing off like within a blink of an eye of the Warriors 3. Like all the build up between like from the previous 2 Thor films and all of a sudden just like that they're dead and gone. Never mentioned. Even Thor doesn't even mention where his friends are. His 3 friends. So he doesn't know they're ever dead, but he should know they're dead. They're not there with him. And Lady Sith is nowhere to be found either. We don't know where she's at. So that's like 2 issues that I have. Yeah, that's the 2 issues. The 2 issues I have with the film. So yeah, but other than that, cast did great. Did good. Effects, direction, humor, action scenes. But yeah. So yeah, Thor Ragnarok I do enjoy. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.